Lands and Mining Watch Ghana (LMWG) convenes this press conference today with a deep sense of concern and urgency regarding a matter that threatens the very fabric of our nation's legal and economic integrity. We are appalled by the revelation that Angela List, in collaboration with select individuals from political and security circles, has orchestrated a bold and illegal scheme to export gold valued allegedly at over $7 million United States dollars from Adamus Resources, a cornerstone of Ghana's mining industry. This egregious violation of the law has been facilitated under the guise of the non-existence of the Interim Management Committee, that is IMC, in direct defiance of the consequential orders issued by the esteemed Accra High Court. Failure to comply with the court orders. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, it is important to put the matter bare to you that a court of competent jurisdiction, the Accra High Court, on the 27th of July 2023, issued some orders in a case involving Adamus Resources, Nguvu Mining as plaintiffs, first and second plaintiffs, and Mr. Alan Roy Morrison, and then Adamus Resources Australia. And on the 27th of July, the court, under the able leadership of her ladyship, Justice Jane Harriet Aquile, gave certain orders. And with your permission, I'll read for you to get a better understanding of what we are doing this morning. Order number 1. The second plaintiff, and here the second plaintiff is the Nguvu Mining, and its directors are restrained from taking any steps to hold any meeting for and on behalf of the first plaintiff company purporting to be shareholders meeting or emergency general meeting or to take any decision or action for and on behalf of the first plaintiff purporting to be registered as a controller of first plaintiff. The second order that was given by the Accra High Court was that Angela List, Joseph Owusu-Ansah, and Dr. Anthony Obin are restrained from holding themselves out as directors of the first plaintiff company until the final determination of this suit. The third restraining order was that Odami Sapom was not to hold himself out as secretary of the first plaintiff company. And the last order was that the second plaintiff and his directors are restrained from taking any steps pursuant to any share transfer agreement signed by Moses Kobina Bosompem or whoever on behalf of the second defendant and by Angela List for and on behalf of the second plaintiff to make the second plaintiff the controller of the second defendant from taking any decision in respect of the shares of the first plaintiff. Now the court concludes that pursuant to the restraining orders, that is the above orders, this court makes an order putting in place a 5-member interim management committee, IMC, to manage the affairs of the first respondent company. The first respondent company here is Adamus Resources. Each party shall provide 2 representatives on the IMC. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources shall also provide a representative on the IMC. None of the restrained persons should be a representative on the IMC. So this was the order of the court. Failure to comply with the court orders. The contempt displayed by Angela List and her co-workers toward the clear directives of the Accra High Court regarding the constitution of an interim management committee for Adamus Resources is deeply troubling. Despite the court's unambiguous instructions, our investigation has uncovered no evidence of an appeal lodged against these orders. This blatant disregard for the rule of law and the judiciary's authority is unacceptable and demands an immediate redress. As I read to you, the court had given orders for a 5-member interim committee to be formed to manage the affairs of Adamus Mining Resources. Now, as we speak, gold production and gold sale is ongoing without the IMC in place to manage or to direct the affairs of the company. The question that must be asked by media men gathered here and now every Ghanaian is that under whose supervision or directive or authority is the management of the company going, and who is directing sales, and how are we accounting for monies that are being shipped out of this country? Governments take and responsibility. It is interesting to note that Adamos Mining Company was established in 2003 in Ghana, with Adamos Resources holding 100%. Now, fast forward to 2011, the company sold 10 million shares to the government of Ghana, for which reason the government of Ghana became a 10% shareholder in the company. So the more reason why Lions and Mines World Ghana is very much interested in this particular issue is that as Ghanaians, we have a stake in this company, a 10% stake that we must protect. It is imperative that the government of Ghana fulfills its duty to protect its interests, particularly its substantial 10% stake in Adamos Resources. However, the concerning indifference exhibited by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources in addressing this matter promptly raises serious doubts about its commitment to upholding the nation's sovereignty in the mining sector. Furthermore, the collusion of certain security agencies in facilitating the illegal exportation of gold, despite a pending injunction application, undermines public trust in the integrity of law enforcement institutions and calls for urgent investigation and corrective action. Role of the Attorney General. The conduct of the Attorney General's office in providing questionable advice to Angela List, who is a party to this whole issue, and in Nguvu Mining, that is supposed to be 100% shareholding structure for Angela List, regarding the effect of an injunction application is deeply troubling. Such interference in judicial matters undermines the independence and impartiality of our judicial system and erodes public confidence in the administration of justice. The Attorney General's role is to uphold the law, not to circumvent it or undermine the authority of our courts. And here, let me just add that the Attorney General's role is to advise government and to protect government's interests. In the course of this issue, when the court gave restraining orders, a party to the suit, that is Nguvu Mining, wrote to the Attorney General, and I will make copies of all these documents for your perusal, to advise or offer opinion on the restraining orders that were given by the court. It is interesting that in the wisdom of the Attorney General himself or herself, as this was written by it's himself, the Attorney General made it clear that the court had ordered that yes, no one is supposed to stop production, business must go on because it's a going concern, but the production of gold and the sale of it must be under the direction of the interim management committee. It is therefore very surprising that an Attorney General's department, and for that matter the government, knowing of the existence of these orders, would allow the company to be run without the involvement of the interim management committee. That must concern every Ghanaian. Call to action. In the light of these egregious transgressions, Land and Mines World Ghana urgently calls upon His Excellency the President of Ghana to intervene decisively and restore the rule of law in the mining sector. The President, in these difficult times of massive depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi, should be more concerned about how dollars are shipped out of the country, with which dollars could be used to shore up the cedi's stability. The media, civil society organizations, and all stakeholders must unite in demanding accountability and transparency. It is imperative that those responsible for violating the law are held to account and that measures are put in place to prevent such flagrant disregard for court orders and national interests from occurring in the future. In conclusion, Land and Mines World Ghana emphasizes the urgent need for immediate and resolute action to address the rampant impunity demonstrated by Angela List and her accomplices in the illegal exploitation of gold from Adamos Resources. The government of Ghana must assert its authority and fulfill its responsibilities to safeguard the nation's interests in the mining sector. Transparency, accountability, and adherence to the rule of law are essential for the sustainable management of Ghana's natural resources and the equitable distribution of their benefits among all citizens. We are also calling on the media as the fourth estate of the realm to see this development as a call to duty to follow the court proceedings regarding this matter with eager eyes to ensure that the country Ghana is not shortchanged. I thank you very much for your attention.